Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the new episode of our podcast, the CocoNerds. And after a very long gap, we are back. I think it's become our second nature to take such long gaps after each podcast. I think we gave us the break because, we need to watch all the series and compensate and, think
Yeah,
and so that we can present that on a podcast on a greater and, on a good level. So I guess that's the excuse I'm gonna give. So for the reason
And
that
the
no,
excuse that I'm gonna give is that
that's the
we are letting our audience bask in the in the heavy words and the heavy analysis that we provide of our shows, so that you can enjoy the movies and shows, and then we can come after 3 4 months new shows for you to watch.
even though among the 60 views that we got 55 are us only, but still I think it doesn't matter. Still we enjoy doing this. It's become a kind of a hobby or a thing that we like love to do. So even though we continue it in a or we present it after a very short gap, still we're gonna continue it and we're gonna see how these things goes on. So today I think the podcast will be mainly focused on random shows and TV shows which we recently watched or we have watched along, and or our favorite ones, which are maybe related to superhero themes or may not be. It doesn't matter because I think mm, today's theme is quite different because we haven't decided any theme. We thought
yeah.
let's go in all out, without any preparation or key points. Let's just go in and speak our heart, speak what it's in our heart. So let's see how this thing goes. So I think for me, in the past few weeks, I've been enjoying quite a few animated shows. I have been enjoying the usual Disney Plus, or I should say the Marvel series, whether it's be WandaVision or Winter
Falcon
Soldier,
and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Recently, the current show that I've been watching are which are currently finished are Castlevania and Invincible and Love, Death and Robots. And believe me, like, okay, and among these animated shows, the one show that stood out the most was Invincible, because I still remember when I first saw the trailer. It was way before the Invincible created that hype, you know and which led to people start watching it. It was before that I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this look cool, but it's just a generic superhero, because I didn't knew nothing about the comic book, or there has been this long history of these comic books going on. And nor did I know that it was created by the same guy who created the Walking Dead series. So I didn't knew about it.
Oh,
Yeah, so and this is the main reason why people started taking interest in it, because it was created by the same creator who did The Walking Dead, right? So they were quite speculating that it must be good, as The Walking Dead is phenomenal, right? It's one of the best. So I started watching it
mm.
as if just a generic superhero. After seeing the first episode, I will decide whether I need to watch the rest of the episode or not. And believe me, so Tarun, you have watched the Invincible, or have you
No,
not?
I have not
I
watched
think yeah,
Invincible yet.
Himanshu have watched it, and
No.
so the first 40 minutes are like, okay, meh. I think I can
Yeah,
give it
generic shit.
generic superhero shit. White House under danger. Avengers comes to defend the city.
Of
Yeah,
Justice League, all of them.
you can clearly point out who the ripoff of who, just by looking
Yeah.
that, like they. So these things were quite subtle, and you can clearly see what they are doing. Like they are doing it ironically, they are doing it, or they are doing it on purpose. But as soon as you come through the last 3 minutes of this episode, like a person, you will be like, your brain will be fucked, and like, what the fuck happened, man? Like how could such thing happen? And in other terms, like rather than, what's unique is the story, right? Because they didn't shy themselves from the glory, blood, and all this violence, right? They didn't shy themselves. Normally in animated movies we see that the demographic is for around 12 to 16-year-olds kid, right? Or 8 to 16-year-old kids, right? That's the
Hmm.
demographic they point out to, right? Because that's the reason, because there is no blood or glory, or if there is, they try to keep it to a minimum level. But in this show it's hard, like they have clearly stated that it's for 18 plus. They don't shy themselves from speaking any slur. You can, whether it's fuck or any other bad slur, you can imagine, they say it. And the
Hmm.
second is the blood, the way they throw
Too much
blood,
blood.
the way they throw blood, and
Animated blood.
and how realistic it, even in the fight scenarios, like there's a scene, it's not a spoiler, so I can tell you, like there's a scene where the city is under danger, and the our main hero invincible, goes to protect the city, and it's his first time. So he start getting panic attacks. Okay. So in this panic situation, right, he thinks, okay, I need to just save one, I just need to save one person. So he sees a grandma, and he tried to save them. But because he is strong, right? And with his speed, by the speed, uh, carry her and move her to the safe location. He sees that that pressure has crushed, or rambles the bone of their grandma. So
Yeah.
her limbs and arms are totally messed up, and he gets fucked up more. Like that level of that panic attack increases. No, and that's what
Yeah.
seeing the real aspect of something, why a animated series was something that was quite new to me, right? I have seen it in anime, and they have been doing it, right? But coming from a western produced comic book show, animated show, it was quite new and it was quite
Hmm.
refreshing. And that's the main
Yeah.
reason that the show was instant hit. Like I can see the number of people who are the number of people who are talking about it, currently, are like on a very high scale. And because and because the story is quite similar to what it's been going in the comic book, but it's deviate here and there. Other than that, I think I loved the show. And I think if any of our viewers or listeners, who have not yet seen the Invincible show, I will highly request them, or suggest them to watch the show. Give it an okay. Just go for the first episode alone, and after finishing the first episode, you will it will instantly compel you to watch the next episode. It's that
I
good.
finished it in 12 hours.
Yeah. So I still remember how much I forced Himanshu to come on, watch
Yeah.
it, watch it, watch it. And
When I started, I just could not stop.
yeah, it was so good. Like in terms of, yeah, like
Yeah.
you
Yes.
haven't so what are the new series or TV shows that you have been watching recently?
Well, I have been watching a lot of series. Right now I'm moving, switching between episodes from one series to another. I'm not binge watching anything. But as we're talking about the animated series right now, so the animated series I'm watching is old school. It's the Batman animated series. It took
Yeah.
me so long to find it because it's nowhere, it's not on Netflix, not on Prime.
Yeah.
I found it
The original.
somewhere,
Yeah.
so I'm watching it. And
Where did
the
you find
best
it?
part about
Mhm.
the it's on some pirated website. I don't even remember the names. Maybe let me tell you, Mega NZ.
Mhm.
Acha.
This Mega NZ. It's a cloud. उस पे सेव है सब कुछ तो I just download the episode and watch it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the best thing about the Batman animated series is first thing it's nostalgic. Okay, like it used to be in our childhood, like the 90s, the 90s shows. I even used to watch it when I was young, and now finding it again makes me nostalgic. Second part is I think like Batman. is one of the characters I truly love, even though it's from DC. But still, we have seen many versions of Batman so long, but I still find the animated version the best one. I guess that's the best show. The first good thing about that is being an series. It gives a lot more space, a lot more time for a show to cover each aspect. They are not rushing into anything.
Mm,
Secondly, the cast. The Mark Hamill Joker and the Kevin Conroy Batman. So these have been iconic Batman and Joker voices, even
the
continued in the
OGs.
game series too ahead. Yeah, the OGs.
Hmm.
So I guess yeah. Nowadays, even the animated shows have grown little too much. In every show, they take some reference, not reference exactly, like some part. These things, the entertainment moves hand to hand. So I guess there is still some sneak of the older shows and the new shows too that you find that okay, it is working on the baseline of those
Yeah,
old shows, the structure they have provided. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not too long. It's I guess the seasons. There's a season wise. The first season is too long of the Batman animated series. Like it has like 50 episodes, but the future season 2 and season 2 to 4 are not very lengthy. So right now I'm still on the season 1 of the show, but I guess I'm enjoying it a lot.
like
And anyone who is still a fan of Batman and he has not been, he's having a mind fuck, like okay, what's wrong with Batman nowadays? You can always go back and watch the animated series and
like
feel the same love for the Batman again.
what's great about the animated
Yeah,
series is, or being an animated series is, like it gives the character the time to to have a proper character development, right? So within the
yeah, exactly.
within the series of episodes, you see your character growing, and which is
Hmm.
quite something that we miss nowadays in movies, like, because if you see, like,
Yes.
the current scenarios, right? Because yeah, through movies and you don't have the enough time, or you can't give that each single character the enough time to to show the full character depth, or the depth which we see as a Batman. Because seeing the OG series,
Yeah.
because we are well aware of what type of character he is, right? And any subtle changes a new person or a new creator brings in the character, we can easily, like, notice it, right? Like, people easily point it out, like this,
Yeah.
is not what Batman used to be. This is the most usual comment you will see,
Yeah.
whenever a new reboot happens, right? This is the most common comment you can see, right?
Hmm.
That that these are the
We are the ones
things.
making those comments.
Yeah, like, no, yeah, like the people like us, or like, I think,
Yeah, I mean, see,
I
the
guess
thing about Batman is that was the first
there's
exposure
something
that most
about,
of us had of Batman. So it is because
yeah,
of that
true,
reason, and basically, it's so iconic that you cannot match it. So me being a
true.
bad geek, I can just tell you that we as kids started following Batman via that series first. After that, we got into
Hmm.
comics, and then the trilogy happened. Bat trilogy of Christopher Nolan. This was the order for most of us.
yeah, not
So
having, not
we
having,
started knowing Batman from that show.
yeah, yeah,
We started knowing him from there.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Batman shown there is the real, true Batman. So now we say that Christian Bale is the best Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck is the best Batman. We say such things, but we measure them from the animated series.
yeah, like,
Yeah. That's the
Animated series is
perspective.
the
That's the
benchmark.
point of view we're having.
That is the benchmark that we
Benchmark.
have
Yeah.
set.
yeah,
So that's
Yeah.
why that's what we compare it to. That's what we compare Christian Bale or Ben Affleck or now Robert Pattinson. That's the show that we compare these people to. So that's why the show is so iconic.
yeah, I think,
By the way, after watching Tenet, I'm really looking forward to Robert Pattinson in a Batman role again.
Yeah,
I
it's
like.
gonna be good.
I
I
was
think.
not. I'm hyped up about it.
Same.
Now I'm
Yeah.
hyped up about Robert
In the
Pattinson as
last
Batman.
podcast that we
Yeah.
recorded, the last podcast that I was in, the Batman podcast, even I had my preconceptions that Robert Pattinson might fuck it up, but I think, and he obviously has the
Yeah.
acting acumen. We never doubted that. We just said that he should not be looking
Yeah.
like a anime character in the Batman thing.
Come
And
on,
we
man.
should not make it like that.
Yeah. We never,
He should
we
not be
can't
an emo
picture
boy.
him in the superhero.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Because
think we
that
should
was
give him a chance. I think we
the
should.
first encounter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we
The
as
first
fans should give
encounter
him a
we had with
chance first.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, exactly.
So,
So speaking again of Batman, I think apart from the animated series, the animated movies of Batman have always also been good. Like the
Killing
Batman, the
Joke.
Killing Joke, the Batman, the Red Hood. So I guess there's something, I don't know, maybe just a coincidence or maybe just I don't know, a good omen, but the Batman and the animated version of it has always been, a good deal out of the shows
One
and
of the reasons why
Batman as
that
a
is
character.
good is because Warner Brothers are not interfering there. That's true DC. That's there.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
I guess so.
I'm little bit deviating from the topic, but recently I heard like how WB is bullying Zack Snyder after he has released the
Yeah,
Snyder Cut, right? Because they didn't wanted
true.
to release the Snyder Cut. HBO was the one who released it, and so
Hmm.
we have been hearing a lot from Zack Snyder that they are like kind of ki they are on his back now that and I hardly think that they will let him direct any other WB movie in the future.
They won't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think so. The Snyder was, I don't think it could restore again.
and we will
At
love to
least
see
not in the same production.
Zack Snyder directing a Marvel movie, I think in the near future.
Yeah,
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 might happen. Might
seriously.
happen.
yeah,
Might happen. High possibility.
yeah, very much possible. Like in respect of the comic book movie, the animated series, like okay, Himanshu, what series are you watching right now, or recently? I must ask.
Yeah. So yesterday I finished Death Note, but I'll not talk about it because it's over talked already. I'll talk about BoJack. I finished BoJack Horseman 2 months ago. So I had seen BoJack first time, I think in 2016 or 17. I had seen first few episodes, but at that time I was not in such a state to take on such heavy content upon
Yeah,
myself and not
it's
get
very heavy.
depressed. So I just said that once in my life, and I'll think that okay, now I'm in stable state, then I'll start watching BoJack again.
Hmm.
So I started watching BoJack again in February, and I finished it in March because it's a very long show and it's very heavy. You cannot watch more than 3 or 4 episodes
I
in a day. It's
think I
very
think
heavy.
I have watched it around like 2 to 3 times now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first video that we made on this channel was
Oh, was
about
on
BoJack.
BoJack. Like like
We wrote and did it.
Yeah.
So uh, the thing about BoJack is, so BoJack Horseman is a talking horse. He is has been in Hollywood. He had a TV show, 9 seasons
hmm,
of a TV show horsing around, and he is now a failure because he has no talent according to Hollywood now, and he's has been. He's always drunk. He's always addicted to drugs, and he in his life is now occupied by the fame that he had there. He thinks that he's still living in the 90s. He thinks that he's still as important as he used to be, which he's not, obviously. He's a has been. And now he's trying to regain his persona, he regain his personality and his stature in Hollywood. He has an agent, Princess, what was his name? What was her name? The pink cat, Princess, whatever. And then he has a friend, the dog's character. I don't remember any names because I've been watching a lot of those in the last 4 months. And then there's
peanut butter.
his book writer, Peanut Butter. Dog was the peanut butter and his wife. So these are the main characters in the show. And then there's Todd. I remember Todd specifically because it's played by Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
So the sarcasm is heavy. It's no doubt. It's very good. And so the thing about BoJack is that it will make you relate more and more and make you read more and more about philosophy. BoJack is a nihilist. He does not believe that life has a meaning, and he says that life is meaningless and it's
And
useless to create a meaning out of life.
one
But
thing
then again, yeah,
one thing that with being a nihilist, I think he was more a narcissistic person, who never believed
yeah,
that, it was his mistake ever, right? And,
Yeah.
through these series, like you a normal series, you will see that a person is evolving, right? Like he is expecting his accepting his mistakes, right? And he's evolving. But even though till the end of the season, I hardly see him expecting his mistakes in even till the end, right? There will be scenarios in between where you see that yes, he has changed a bit, or he has improved in similar or smaller things, right? And with his the way sometimes, right, the words that comes out from his mouth are so true and so raw, right? So like they hit you hard, I think, right? And that's what the great thing about this, because there is no filter over it, right? Like there is no filter on the life, like, oh, no, 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 after a year or two, like the life will get better, or do this, or you will find eternal happiness, or it's in a happy ending. Like these phenomena, they don't, like, and they are very subtle about it. But most of the time, like whenever I have suggested people ki, you need to watch this show, like you need to watch BoJack Horseman, it's a really great show, it's about philosophy, or it's about more about it's about a person dealing with depression and anxiety, right, rather than it's showing your, or the way they show, or how a person goes through the state of depression or state of anxiety is very true. And as compared to what the Hollywood or Bollywood movie shows, or TV shows glorifies, right? They haven't glorified it, they have been straight.
Bollywood, seriously?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. In Bollywood, there exists a term like depression. The, uh,
Yeah,
so and that's what I think,
sugar coated everything.
and that's what the great thing about this BoJack Horseman animated show, which I grasped. And after that I have watched about, right, 2 to 3 times, or and I, here and there, I always watch 1 or 2 episode whenever I need to lighten my mood, because it's funny. Believe it or not, it has that dark humor thing.
The point that you said people don't watch, you has to emphasize a lot about a show, be it Invincible, be it BoJack Horseman. Like maybe people are not yet convinced enough to watch an animated series, even if even you put the same topic, the same story in a live action movies or a series, people might still be interested. But the point that the series is animated, some people, or maybe some cohort of people would still not, be into it just because it's animated. I still myself, I agree, I accept that. I myself, struggle a little bit to have my complete focus and have a continuation while watching animated series, because I feel like I'm not connecting enough. But then again, if you truly watch a show based on its story, on its themes, and not just on its character and what's on the screen. I guess that's the point when you come to realize, okay, that yeah, the animated series or movies deserve the same uh, respect, maybe
I
the
think
same view time as the any other live
I
action.
think the problem is, like, in a people, or on the back of their mind, thinks that the stakes aren't real, right? Seeing a real person on screen
Yeah,
as compared to seeing an animated person on the screen, like, they have that, the mind creates that this thing that, like these are drawn pictures, and so the stakes are not real, right? And I think
yeah.
you get over it after you have watched enough animated TV shows, or series, that your brain get used to it. But initially, I think, yeah, it's hard for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that they are not able to see beyond the picture. Like they're always thinking, okay, there's a guy who looks like a horse. How can I relate to him? How am I gonna relate to him? But the point that's what's beyond the picture. What's the story about? What he's talking about? He's talking about the real scenarios, the real problems, the real mental issues a person might have in general. That's the thing that people really struggle to look beyond.
Yeah.
They're just very limited to what's on their screen.
So Himanshu, if you have to, suggest someone, or make someone watch this, show, or an animated show, may it be BoJack Horseman or anyone, like, because generally people don't watch animated shows, right? It's the percentage are quite less as compared to what for the live action. So how are you going to like convince someone to watch this? Or have you must have told people, right, to watch this show. Like it's our second nature to.
I don't I don't tell people anymore to watch any show because it's like I've watched so many shows that I just don't
Uh,
want to tell people. It just seems like as if I'm imposing my own opinions on them. So I just tell them it's a nice show. If you want to watch, you can just go for it.
Hmm.
And about the animated show question, that so see, it's very simple that animated shows are not as popular among adults because adults think that they are cartoons, they are for
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, that's the.
So BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, Invincible, Death Note, or whether it be these kind of adult shows which are specifically made for adults, they are in cartoonic form because of some production idea that they have, or some just because they don't want to be limited. So that is why they are animated. And if someone wants
yeah,
to start with any show, it depends on what their taste is. So I don't want to tell anyone to start an animation show, but if they want to, you should start with either BoJack or Rick and Morty or Death Note. These three are the epitome of animated shows that you can start with, and depends on the life stage that you're on. It's actually very important to pick a show because if you are battling bad thoughts and if you are battling depression, don't start Rick and Morty or BoJack Horseman. You might end up killing yourself. Please don't start it. That
I don't think so, David. Like I.
it's very depressing. And see, see. I had that trail of thought when I got interrupted. Is that BoJack Horseman is a show which will make you question your own beliefs.
Hmm.
You need to. So it's just very simple that you need to understand that you are not the hero in everyone's life.
Yeah.
You may be the hero of your own life, but you are not the hero of everyone's life. For most of the people in this world, you do not exist. For some, you are a hero. For some, you are a side character. And for some, you are a villain also. You
Yeah.
might have hurt someone knowingly or unknowingly, and you might be the Bojack of their lives. Bojack is not a actor. Bojack is not a hero. He's an actor. Bojack is an anti-hero. Bojack is a real human. All of us are anti-heroes. I don't think any of us are heroes. We are not even heroes of our own lives. So how can we become heroes of the world? It's very simple. Bojack is a show that you need to watch and learn that you are not a fucking hero. You are a person. You exist on this planet for 70, 80 years. Have fun and fucking die. It's very simple.
And like
Don't assert a meaning to your life because your life is
is me
going to be worthless at the end
and
and you do
meaningless.
not matter. Meaningless. Peanut Butter said it very well in an episode that life is meaningless. You try to give it a meaning, but at the end you die. So it doesn't matter. And I would take it a little further. I've been thinking about this for 3, 4 years now that we are in 2021 right now. At the end of the century, until and unless one of us has done something great in our lives, have invented something or just been phenomenal, no one
Or
will remember us.
yeah,
I don't think our great grandson will remember our name, son or daughter. They won't remember our names. And even if they remember our names, they won't know what we look like and we won't matter to them.
but I
So
think
it's very, very, very simple. Yeah.
but if you talk about that, right, like, but what's important is to like love and learn through this journey, right? I think
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm saying.
that's what the meaning
That
of
is
shows is,
that
right?
is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The entire point of life, according to me, is to find someone and stay and love your family, love yourself, and fucking have fun. Do not run after ambitions. Do not run after creating some big stuff. If you are good at it, fine, go ahead, create,
Like
good. But
they
don't lose your head behind something. Just
philosophy
have fucking
101.
fun. It's the
it's
most important part of
it's a
life is to
very
have fun, I think.
it's a very philosophical show. And like
Yeah.
from Himanshu's perspective, like the show is very depressing and right just
It's realistic. It's
yeah.
very realistic.
This is
So if you're already low in your life, it will look
from Himanshu's point of view. If you are feeling low in your life, don't watch this show. But from my
not at that moment.
but from my perspective, I think you should watch this show. Why? because they also shows the journey of him fighting through that depression, right? If you have the guts to end an episode, but don't end it on the mid, right? That's what I'm saying. Like finish the whole episode, right? Go through his full journey, right? How he overcomes that, right? It's not a single step procedure, right? Because you click like that and your depression or anxiety is gone. It doesn't work like that, right?
Yeah.
It's a long process, right? And that's what they have shown. It's not like in movies they show a training montage, and after 6 months the guy is ripped and free of all
Yeah,
depression.
and there's a Linkin Park song going in a background
or
during his training
yeah.
sessions.
So like this is not how a depression or anxiety work. Like it's a long process, and it takes a toll on you, right? And it's demand sacrifices, right? I think so. And that's what this shows, tell me. Or there's a really great line, when the Todd said that you can't fucking be rude to all the people and blame it on your drinking problem, or your depression and your mental health. Like you can't do that, right? Because we
Yeah.
as other people, we are around you, we are your friend, but enough is enough, right? Because I can't, because put it on, like, or in my life, like I have hardly seen people, like, or I have seen some people, right, who have some traits of BoJack Horseman in my life, like some people.
I think all of us have some traits of
No,
both, right?
no, not in
That's
that
what
way.
makes the show very real. Not completely, but see, that's what I started with. But the thing that is there with the show is that it makes you feel very realistic,
Relatable,
and
I
you
think.
will
I
see
The term you're using,
relative. You will
relatable.
feel sometimes no realistic, because see, some of the situations in the show, we might have seen those situations and we might have reacted in them, and we might have seen people react to those situations like Bojack does.
I still
So
remember.
I think that is why it says,
Mm.
and one of the important things that you can learn from this show is that we should not be self-centered. Bojack is a very self-centered guy. He thinks that whatever he does has the impact on the entire universe. He unknowingly does that, and sometimes it actually happens. Many people die because of Bojack's problems, Bojack's issues. I think 3 or 4 people in the 6 seasons have died because of Bojack's actions. And it's not a spoiler. Don't
No,
don't
no, no,
don't think it's not a
no.
spoiler.
I'm not
No,
placing
we are not
myself.
telling who is gonna die.
No,
Someone's gonna die.
no. It's not about who's gonna die. Like just that thought went through my head, and I was like, oh fuck, yeah. Yeah, like how many people have led to
Yeah.
their death because of a person,
So
right?
yeah,
Directly
so
or
Bojack's
indirectly.
problem was very, yeah, it was, he was a very self-centered guy, and sometimes you would look at the show and you would like, okay, so I don't want to be this guy. I want to be someone else. So that's one of the things that you might actually learn from the show.
Yeah.
That you should not be like Bojack.
So
And
I guess the bottom line here that, yeah, if
I think the
you're saying something, please. Sorry.
bottom line would be just that watch it if you want
yeah,
to. It's a good show, and you will learn a lot of things if you look at those things in the right context.
one
Context is
Yeah.
very important with this show.
one thing that I like the great about this show, I think, or it's very true. Like I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. Like the ending of the show is phenomenal, right?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And
What
I can't tell you in details, right? But the way they ended this show, like they weren't in hurry, just like Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, right? And and neither they were like trying to expand the show, just because it was showing numbers as the
it's
season moved
running.
on. Because I still remember this when the season 5 came, and the people were way much hyped about it as compared to when the season 1 initially came, right? Because then the people didn't know about it until season 5. Half of the people, or the fandom has been increased on a huge scale, and they didn't took advantage of it, just like some shows do, that they just keep on running. Even like Two and a Half Men will be the one of the show which I will say that, even though
Big Bang Theory.
yeah, Big Bang Theory, these shows are the one that they should have ended at season 9 or season 10, but they didn't. Why? Because they just
Yeah.
they knew that people are going to watch it, yeah, the people are going to watch it no matter how shitty we make it, or even though we have uh, no other story to expand.
Now we have the fixed audience who will,
Yeah, watch
yeah.
it no matter what. So that thing, they didn't practice that thing, and which was also great about it. And
Yeah, I think talking about Game of Thrones, I would like to talk about Game of Thrones
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
Is
we can always
is
talk
that
about Game of
so?
Thrones.
Yeah, so there's two, three things that I want to make very clear when I talk about it. Is that the show the sixth season of the show was the last high point of the show, first of all.
Yeah, like that was the
After that,
pinnacle.
the last two seasons were just the ending of the storyline. So we don't have to talk about it. So here's what I propose. I propose an alternate ending to the show.
Hmm.
I have a list of characters, the list of characters that are all alive at the end of season 8, and I will tell you what I did. So,
Like Himanshu has a, it's Himanshu has it stored in her is notepad, that every
no, it's
time
not. I'm just looking at the characters. Yeah.
okay, okay, so you googled it. Okay, okay, my bad. I
Just
thought
characters they from
I thought
Google.
he
It's nothing else.
I thought he was so
No, no,
angry
no.
after this, season
No,
finale,
I'm not
Game of
angry.
Thrones,
See,
that he started
I
writing.
don't get angry, and I don't want to get angry at other people because they're not in my control. I just want to make my peace. So when the last season aired, I was not here. I was in Delhi. I was doing some stuff, and just I'm so fucking disappointed on the fact that these people held the right to disappoint whatever the fan base of the show was.
Yeah.
500 million people or so were watching the show at the ending. Not the exact numbers who were watching on TV, but even we did not watch on TV.
Yeah.
We watched later, so we are not counted by the show's
Yeah.
spectators. I think at least 400 to 500 million people in the world might have watched the show. And this is what I estimate. My estimate might be exaggerated. So this is what I did. I was traveling and I just thought that why give David Benioff and DB Weiss the authority to end the show on their terms? I will end the show for myself. So this is what I thought, and this is what happened to every character. This is how the show has ended in my head.
Okay.
Okay, so starting with the fact that Arya Stark did not kill Night King. She did not.
So
Kit Harington did because he was obviously Jon Snow.
Okay. Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah, sure.
he was fucking. Why was he brought from the dead?
Yeah,
If it was not to kill the Night King.
yeah, just to be a side character. Come on, man.
It's first things first. Okay, Jon Snow kills Night King.
Hmm.
Talking about Arya Stark marries Gendry at the end. Gendry is the king of King's Landing.
Yeah.
Gendry Baratheon.
Yeah.
He's the king. He is the king of Six Kingdoms. Fuck it. I said it. He is the king of Six Kingdoms. Then Jon Snow kills Emilia Clarke, Queen Khaleesi. He kills Khaleesi.
Why?
And then he goes back. So what happens is, so Khaleesi understands that the point is not to rule the Seven Kingdoms. It's to find peace because she has been hurt in her love, and Jon Snow was also hurt in love. So what they did is that they kill Cersei. They eliminate the bad things from King's Landing, and then both of them peacefully go beyond the wall. That's where they live. Okay. From time to time, she goes to Essos to check up on her kingdom, and then she still comes back to beyond the wall with Jon Snow. They live happily ever after. Then there are only six kingdoms. The seventh kingdom, Sansa Stark, perfect ending. I loved Sansa Stark's character. The character development was one of the best character developments ever on any fucking show. So Sansa Stark, and their demands a separate kingdom. She lives there. Now Tyrion Lannister is still married to Sansa. They never annulled their wedding or nothing happened there. And they were not enemies. They were married because of external situations. So what happens is that Khaleesi offers Tyrion's helpings to Sansa in order to maintain the North because it's the biggest state of the Seven Kingdoms. So she says that Tyrion can stay with you. He will act as a husband, not
advisor,
personally, but advisor. Act as a husband because a queen cannot rule the north. There was something like that. There were little oppositions from the other smaller houses that we don't want a queen, only a queen. So he's like, he will act as a husband externally, but you will be the queen. There will be a queen in the north this time.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what happens there, and then both of them go away. Then our favorite Jamie, he does not die with Cersei. He helps Arya and Khaleesi kill Cersei. And Arya kills Cersei with her own blade.
Hmm.
Dragon does not kill her, and Khaleesi personally does not kill her.
Yeah.
They make the situation like Khaleesi will kill her, but at the end, she offers Arya to drag another name off her list.
Yeah, like
So
that
Arya
makes
does
more
that
sense.
also.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Now. So Arya removes her name from her list, she kills Cersei. So then after that, Cersei is dead. So our dear Jamie, he marries Brienne of Tarth and they go to Casterly Rock and they are the king and queen there under the command of King Gendry, of the king of Seven
Mm-hmm.
Kingdoms. Okay, this is what happens there. Then who is left? Night King obviously is dead, and Clegane, nothing to change about Clegane Bowl, perfect. Clegane Bowl was fucking perfect. There
What
was
ab
no problem in
No,
Clegane.
no, I'm
Nothing to
talking
change
about
about that.
Bran Stark. What about him?
Bran Stark fucking goes back to the wall, beyond the wall. He does not come back. He does not shows his. He doesn't show his face ever again in the King's in the Seven Kingdoms. I hate that fucking character. Because of him, Hodor died. Because of him, those two sister and brother sister who जो थे उनको help करना है थे, they died for no fucking reason. Useless fellow. Hate Bran Stark. No need for him.
Useless fellow. I like the way you said it.
Lel.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Who is?
like Himanshu, like few minutes back, Himanshu said, I wasn't angry. Why would I be angry?
I was
No,
like,
no.
see, I am angry. I am angry
Two
at Bran
seconds.
Stark
2 seconds later.
because he has wasted so much. He has wasted so much screen time that we could have that in
I
which we
think
could have seen other characters.
I think in yeah, like, I think for me, the thing that should go is like Arya doesn't kill the White Walker. Like Jon Snow did,
Yeah,
right?
Night King. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing is that's I think when it comes to like the sitting on these six kingdoms, that thing also I agree with you. But one thing is that Khaleesi and Jon Snow going beyond the wall is not something.
And Essos and beyond the wall. They do not see why they will not be getting involved in the six seven kingdoms. I have a theory. Jon Snow is a bastard. Like he's not, but he used to be.
Hmm.
They are the rightful heirs of the Seven Kingdoms, both of them, because they are from the Dragon House, the Targaryen family. Both of them are. They are the rightful heirs. But that is the poetic beauty of the show, that there are no rightful
But
heirs.
don't you think your ending is a way to happy ending? I think something
It's
that
not happy. They are
beyond
going
our
beyond the wall.
no, like it isn't a they're gonna go beyond the
Yeah,
wall
why would
and
I want
happily
to
ever
depress
after.
myself without it?
No, no,
Why would I want to depress myself for any
no.
apparent reason?
But I
I
think
have one more point. See, I have one more. The most important plot point of the show. The most important part that I want to say is that Sir Bronn of Blackwater
hmm.
gets his castle and his wife.
Hmm.
That is the most important plot point, I think.
Hmm.
And I don't think Tarun Bhai is able to remember Sir Bronn. Are you?
I have not seen Game of Thrones either. I'm living under the rock, but I like it here. Yeah, I don't like to do the the usual stuff.
So I think
I'll
Cool
watch
banda
it
hai aapko.
somewhere in the near future.
ठीक है. So
But
yeah,
I'm
Sir
enjoying
Bronn
it.
gets his castle.
The
okay.
energy you're showing while
So
telling though. Maybe I'll watch till the season 6 and then I'll just listen to this podcast and
Yeah,
not watch
yeah.
season 7
I
and
think
8.
you'll not be disappointed because if you watch those seasons, you will be disappointed.
So so
Yeah.
recently they are gonna bring new spin-off of Game of Thrones. Like the recent
Yeah.
one is House of Targaryens, right? That's the
Yeah,
one.
so this is just what you were saying about Two and a Half Men and Big Bang Theory. That is what HBO is gonna do. They are using the cash cow for money, and TRP, nothing
They're
else.
gonna milk
So
it.
I don't think, yeah. So see, George R. Martin has not written too much about Targaryens in his books. And
Hmm.
then there is a separate book also, but I don't think that book is enough to give HBO at least 4 or 5 seasons of content.
Yeah,
Now what they're gonna do is again the creators are gonna write their own plot points and then they want to disappoint the audience unnecessarily so that
I
it
don't
creates
think
a hype
so. I don't
and
think.
whatever, and that is gonna happen.
I don't think so. This one will be as popular as Game of Thrones in no way, shape, or
Yeah, it
form.
won't be.
Yeah, I
It's
think.
not that. The thing about Game of Thrones
It can't
popularity
be,
was
I
that
guess.
it unified everyone irrespective of where you belong to. So I don't think before Game of Thrones there was such a phenomenon apart from the world wars that
Yeah.
made countries come together at such a major level.
I think yeah, that's where the Lord of the Rings, wins over Game of Thrones is, they have a good ending as compared to Game of
Yeah,
Thrones, right?
exactly.
Like they,
Exactly. I love I have not found a single person who has said that they do not like Lord of the Rings.
yeah, yeah, highly.
I've heard about Hobbit. I've heard people say that about Hobbit. Even I don't like Hobbit that much. But Lord of the Rings is such a saga. It is a proper saga. And I'm thinking about making a marathon. I just 2 or 3 days ago I was on the Batman marathon, the other trilogy. I watched it from morning till the night. So it was there. But I think I'm gonna do that with Lord of the Rings also and then with Star Wars. Because I still haven't seen Star Wars properly.
Yeah, I
So
think
I'm
you
gonna do
should. I
that.
think you should.
And
Like the
yeah, yeah.
first three parts aren't great, but like uh,
I think I'll watch the original
fifth,
trilogy,
sixth.
the 70s one, and then I'll stop.
Yeah, prequel isn't that good, right? But it's mostly consists of CGI and all. But like, but still, seeing that gives you a proper like, okay, yeah, that's what happened,
Understanding.
right? Yeah, okay, that's what happened in the past, or like, that thing. It's good, but like somewhere you feel, I think okay, I won't spoil it for you. You can see it for yourself only that the
I'm gonna watch the original trilogy and then I'm gonna
No,
stop
no one
because
cares about Game of Thrones right now. You can say anything.
no, no,
no, he's
Not
talking
the
about Star
trending
Wars.
one.
I'm talking about Star Wars. Yeah. So other
So you
than
have not seen Star Wars?
कहाँ अपने फोन में कहाँ देखने लग जाते हो भाभी का मैसेज है
Star Wars, so yeah, is like a historical phenomenon,
हाँ, तो
historical
आपने
event.
गेम ऑफ
Everyone
थ्रोन्स
should
देखा
watch.
मैंने कुछ बोला
hmm,
मैंने जज किया
Yeah,
नहीं किया
Game of Thrones is not historical. Game of Thrones came like when 2010, 11,
but
12. I don't
11
know.
but
But
it is
Star
almost
Wars is
but
like from 80s.
yeah but we were not in the 80s we were in the 2010s I think Game of Thrones is the biggest cultural
That's a different thing.
culture
I
do
guess
you
when
think
you said like,
Game of Thrones is the biggest cultural phenomenon
no,
that
I
we have
think
witnessed
I
till now
think I think if we compare Game of
yeah,
Thrones and Star
it
Wars,
just stopped Star Wars only.
I think Star Wars tops Game of Thrones in terms because the fandom of
Yes,
Star Wars is
because I've seen
crazy,
it.
man, crazy on a whole other level. Like
yeah
you
see
will
it was
see you will see
Game
like
of Thrones was ruined it was ruined in the last 2 seasons that is the problem with the
Even the
show
Star
if it
Wars was ruined, no?
yeah.
The
yeah it
Star Wars
was
final
I have
movie
not
of
seen
Star Wars
Star
is
Wars so
not
I
as good
cannot
as
give.
the earlier movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have not seen
Yeah,
Star Wars, and you have
so
not seen
So
Game of Thrones.
last
I
year
think
I
our opinions are not as important as Vijay Bhaiya's opinions in this
yeah,
because he has seen
we are
both.
even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Um,
I think moving forward to the next topic or the next movie or TV shows, like who would like to share the next suggestion or a next OG TV show that you are watching right now?
I'm not recommending to anyone to watch Supernatural. It's not. I'll say it literally out. Like it's not a great show. You don't have to watch it. It's just that I like to watch things which are not, very popular and not in a very limelight. Everyone's is onto it together. So talking about Supernatural again, I would say like Supernatural, one of the series which I used to watch when it used to be on TV. I guess it used to be on AXN
CW.
or Star World. I don't remember.
Okay.
Not in India, it's not CW. It used to be on either AXN or Star World.
I think
It used to
it
be on
was on
one of
AXN.
those.
It was on
AXN.
AXN only. Yeah.
AXN, yeah.
I'm pretty sure about it.
Hmm.
Dexter,
Yeah.
Supernatural,
So
all of those shows were on AXN.
yeah. So I kind of remember that name. Okay, this used to be a show. It was a big deal back then. I kind of looked for it, and I've easily found it on Amazon Prime. So, like we all were discussing on the show, the Supernatural was a very good show, and just because a very good show is end up having like 15 or 16 seasons, it ended last year. But the worst part about it is like only the first 4 or 5 seasons, or maybe the if I go by the stats of the reviews, only the first 7 or 8 seasons are the good ones. And then again, as we all said, that they just wanted to carry on with that success, just give more to the story and give more, you know, story into story, making it complicated. But what good part is, I don't remember, I don't know many shows which are currently on Netflix or any other streaming media. But it's very off base theme. It's about two guys on a hunting ride of they hunt the evil spirits and all. So I kind of like the idea of it. Maybe there are other shows on it
So
too, but I
basically,
guess this
Ghostbusters.
was the kind of show. Yeah, kind of Ghostbusters, like a funny version of them, but this one, I guess, is in the more realistic. Not obviously they can't be realistic because the fantasy world, after
So
all.
so do they
But
have
the
supernatural powers? Like,
no, they don't. By the if I'm giving up spoilers, by the end, by the they move on to season, they kind of getting some powers. They're getting a help from heaven. It doesn't make sense at all, But if you start watching it,
hmm,
and maybe someone like me
Just
would start
we
liking
just
it
talked
too.
about we just talked about a talking horse. Everything makes sense. You can just
hmm,
say anything.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to recommend it to anyone. I'm not going to say that it's a great show that everyone should watch. It's just a normal show that, if you are hell bored like me and you want something different from, which not everyone's talking about, which is not so heavy on your mind. Like you have to invest your time in it. You're curious what's going to happen next. It's just a very light show, light mood. Second part was the show is too American. They're driving muscle cars, just moving from states of America to other states
hmm.
of America. The show is completely American. The thick accent, the like the star. One of the stars is going to appear on The Boys.
Yeah,
Jared
yeah, yeah,
Eccles.
yeah,
Jared Eccles is going to appear on the Boys as Captain America's rip-off version. I don't know, Soldier Boy.
yeah.
So yeah, many people will now know when they watch the who's just
No, no.
Jensen Ackles, because
I
I
think.
think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. I heard
I
it.
think supernatural is it's not like people haven't heard about it. Like I think
Yeah, even I have heard about this.
everyone has heard about supernatural, but just because the
Yeah, it
amount or the number of seasons, right? You see that it has around 14 seasons, so it seems very intimidating to watch the show. You know, so
yeah,
yeah, so that's what the issue,
yeah.
right? Every season having
Like
24 episodes.
like yeah, 24 episodes. They each of them are 40 minutes. So even myself, I'm watching it for a year now. I've started last May. I'm yet on season 9 or 10.
Hmm.
So the reason, so I don't want to put it on the other people's, but I think in India, basically people started watching these series and all like from past 6 7 years only, maybe.
Yeah,
I guess
that's when
as
the
far
trend
as I remember,
started.
apart from Friends and Big Bang Theory, yeah, that's where the trend started. I guess the one of the shows that people started watching was Game of Thrones. As he talked, what a very good influence on people. If people started watching the series, after all. Apart from that, people were so invested in the main three, like the Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Big Bang Theory. Or everyone was just watching these only, like maybe 6 7 years back. But now the people are so much invested and so much interested in so much of series. If Supernatural will suddenly reappear on Netflix as a Netflix original, people must start liking it again. But the thing that it was started, it's a show from 2004. It was not available on any streaming media until 2013 or 12. So it gets kind of disconnect the audience from the show. But I guess the show is quite good once you start investing your time. It will require you to invest your time, as there are lots and lots of seasons. But if I even have to recommend anyone, I would recommend the main storyline of the shows and from season 1 to season 5. That's the main storyline. Up from season 6, they changed the storyline and brought in the new characters. Then again from season 13, they brought in the new characters. So I guess everyone should watch at least the season 1 to season 5. Not everyone, but the main storyline they should follow, and they should like know, what makes the show so popular back in its days. So
Yeah,
that's all I have to say. Apart from that, I
like
don't have much.
recently what's happening now, the abundance of the show has been increased, right? And with the
Yeah,
OTT platforms, right, everything, and so we have a lot to choose from, right? So
true.
so now a person who, so earlier like we have a few options, right? Few OG shows, like, to pick through, to pick from, right? And these becomes
Yeah,
the stepping stone to the other great shows, I think, right? So
yeah.
currently I see people watching, like, still, I think, I don't know why people watch it, like Vampire Diaries, right? I never got it, right? I still have just watched one episode of season one episode and two episodes, and from the time to time, or like in between gaps, right, I have watched the, and man, the way they have just extended the show, like they have first had vampires, right? Then they had
Hmm.
werewolves, right? Then they brought hybrids, huh? ठीक है? And
Hmm.
I don't know, man, the other shits that they start bringing, and fuck, man.
See
So
the vamp.
so like one of the fighting scenario was, like, the vampires are in a house, and the villain is outside the house, right? And now he's throwing
Hmm.
stuff inside the house, but he can't come inside the house. Why? Because you haven't invited him. So you are
What the
safe.
fuck?
So you are safe. Like, bro,
स्त्री
what's,
वाली कहानी हो गई तो.
no, but what's stopping him to get inside? Just tell me
See,
that. Is there a shield?
see, Vampire Diaries was, just a feel good
जेंटलमैन
show
आदमी
for
है,
the
मैं आना
Twilight
चाहता हूँ
fans.
बिना बुलाए, और तो
I
क्या ही
think I
है।
still believe कि हाँ
हाँ.
ठीक है, कि ठीक है. I think there must be something good. Like I, yes, everybody has their different choice or different opinions. They can
Everyone
just
they
come.
have their choices.
Yeah. I totally respect that. But from my opinion, like, I think Vampire Diaries is a shit show. And the verdicts end here for my opinion.
And they even have a spin-off the originals, and people are fan of it. So
Yeah.
people do
उसका
want the
स्पिन ऑफ है।
original.
Like, no,
हाँ,
the story is same.
spin-off.
The story, I think the story is same. Just the, I don't know, man. I don't want to comment on something that I
The
haven't
characters
seen.
are changed. The characters are changed.
Yeah, the characters are
Yeah.
changed, but it's about the
Before
story.
Supernatural, people told me to watch Vampire Diaries only.
Yeah, and let's talk
I was
about the.
going to say Vampire
So
Diaries.
let's talk about the current news also, if we are on the topic on, like, if we have already talked about the favorite shows of the currently we are watching. So let's talk about the Friends reunion, which is going to happen. Now we have a date. Um,
Hmm.
so I think like wish we could do a watch party, man. Right? Like, you know. So
there's no watch party HBO पे कहाँ हाँ।
yeah, like we are
HBO.
we don't have the access to HBO Max in India. We all know.
It's not our fault, no. It's
Yeah,
HBO doesn't want Indians to watch the show.
I think it will be available on Netflix, because currently the Friend is on Netflix, or I think on Hotstar.
I think it will come on Disney Plus Hotstar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it should come on.
Disney
One or
Plus
2 days
Hotstar
later.
can came on
Yeah,
because Disney has other HBO shows only also.
yeah, and
I
and
checked
the
once.
yeah, and the other show that I'm eagerly waiting for is Loki. Seeing
Oh,
seeing the
man.
seeing the new trailers, and oh fuck, man, it's gonna be so great. Like on 9th June.
The Loki is the new that's completely my opinion. Loki series is going to be the new Avengers. Like what I'm trying to say here is Avengers was the movie that changed the MCU, the whole scenario.
Hmm.
Civil War also one of those. Captain America Civil War also one of the movies that change everything in the MCU which was going on. And Loki is going to do the same in my opinion. The Loki is one of the series which is going to impact any other movie and any other series in the.
Yeah, now that we have new Captain America and the Winter Soldier series also, I think it will also be a very good start for the phase 4 of Marvel. And WandaVision is coming. the season two I think will come. WandaVision का season 2 will come because Vision ने बोला था end में that
but
it's I'm just a
not
figment of
anytime soon, I
imagination.
guess.
Not anytime soon, not at all. Because अभी तो वो आने वाली है ना,
Not anytime soon.
Wanda and
Hmm.
Doctor Strange वाली movie आने वाली है. I think that's gonna be good also.
And
And
Multiverse of
did
Madness.
you
Multiverse Madness.
did you saw the podcast, or the podcast clip of Andrew Garfield saying that I am not in the movie Spider-Man 3 and I didn't got the call.
Yeah, it was by ET
Yeah.
Entertainment.
So if you didn't saw it, right, in a podcast, in the podcast, the host asked Andrew Garfield that, are you in Spider-Man movie in any way or shape or form? So so what's your opinion about it? Do you think he will be in the movie, or was he saying the truth?
I don't think. See,
I
I
don't think
think
so. I don't think. I'm sure that there's going to be a multiverse thing in the Spider-Man, but all three Spider-Man will come together. I don't think so. That's going to happen. There would be some linkage. We are sure that we are very much, on the positive news that maybe the Electro and Doctor Octopus or
Yeah, yeah.
Doctor Octavius will reappear in this as same characters. That's kind of confirmed, but I don't think that they will be like, okay, all the three Spider-Mans are coming together and they're fighting. So I
if
But
just
that
think there will
happens,
be
gonna be
some kind
very
of,
cool though.
Easter eggs.
don't you feel
That could have been cool, but it's too soon for Spider-Man to do
but
that.
don't you feel
Yeah.
like he's protecting because he has no right over, like, he can't reveal it, right? He can't reveal it, so maybe he's lying.
But he can't even say
Yeah.
no. If he don't have
He can't
rights,
say
he
no
can't
also.
even say no. Yeah,
Why?
the rights restrict a person to say anything. They're not allowed to say anything. If he's saying no, I'm not in the
Like, he
show.
didn't said
That
no. He
that's
didn't said
again
no.
he's making a statement.
He didn't said no,
He's
na.
making a statement.
So he said I
He
didn't
said
get the
no. He
call.
said no. I'm not.
He said I didn't got the call. So people are commenting, maybe he got the email, or maybe he got the text.
ऐसा नहीं होता है.
Like as because
I don't know.
it's the same, like that Mephisto thing again, right? Uh, it's going to be Mephisto.
Yeah.
It's going to be Mephisto on WandaVision, and then it was a huge letdown, right? It was a huge letdown for the people. So that's what they don't want the same thing to happen to Spider-Man movie. They don't want everyone to think that
Yeah.
all three of them are going to be there. All three of them are going to be there. Oh, and when they see that no, they are not in the movie, that
They didn't came.
people will be highly disappointed, right?
It's going to be a boner. I mean bummer.
Yeah, bummer.
So what I'm saying
It's
is
1:30 in the night and Tarun is horny.
I'm not horny. I was just making the WandaVision joke. Come on. So I was digging a little bit more in the Falcon and Winter Soldier and the WandaVision, and I came to find out that a lot was changed in both of the series. Many things, like 60% of the series has been rewritten. Both the series, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the WandaVision. There was, in fact, a cameo. There was even a reference to. There was about to be a reference about Mephisto, but it didn't all came out because at the same some endings were tweaked.
I think the key
So
point
yeah,
that they gave was the like it was about WandaVision, and to show a character's
yeah,
growth, right? Because it was in the
exactly,
last,
exactly.
it was just
Yeah,
in the last 2 episode or 3 episode we saw Wanda doing something, right? To good, doing something good. Or
yeah,
because in the earlier episode, it was her doing all these things, right? Creating that fake world around, right? Even though
but it was
Agatha
Agatha all along.
Agatha tricked her into doing this. Yeah, I get it, but like still, right? So
Yeah,
in the last 2 or 3 episodes only we saw Wanda like doing something positive, right? So taking that away from him and from her and giving all the credit to Doctor Strange, I don't think so was a fair
yeah,
move. So I think they did the right thing. They made the right call. Yeah. I think if you talk about like coming back on the topic or the recent one of the show that I recently watched was Love, Death and Robots. I think I highly recommend you guys to watch it. It's on Netflix, and the thing with the Love, Death and Robot is that each episode, like they from each season there are around 6 to 8 episodes, and each season sorry, each episode is a standalone short animated movie film. It's like a 16 minutes Black Mirror
Okay.
episode, but it's animated. That's what my summary
Got
is.
it.
Okay.
So it's fucked up. Most of some of the stories are fucked up, and some of the stories are thought provoking, right? And the fact that it's and each animation is a different and distinct style of animation, so that's what
Yeah.
make it so cool, right? So season one was so great, it was a huge success, and recently 2 days back, season three came. Sorry,
So
season two came, and I will be very honest. I am not that much impressed by the season two as I was with season one, because season two stories was very. There wasn't any like, oh, what the fuck happened, like they weren't much of that those scenes, you know in the second season. And the stories were also very normal or typical short films, which I didn't found anything great. Or yeah, a few of them were great. Like there's one story where they have banned having childrens, right? So they are police that goes and kill childrens if they found childrens on the they found any parents having a small child, so they will kill them. And all the people are immortal. There's this procedure they go through, and to have that procedure, you need to to sustain the population, right? Because people are not dying now, so what should we do? So they came with this idea that they will now stop having kids, right? And there's this two society, that one is right on the lower, and on one is above the clouds. So the clouds ones are rich, powerful, and the lowing below normal people that lives below are poor and all, and they are the one
it's
that.
like that Matt Damon movie, no? It's like that Matt Damon movie, The Elysium. If you have seen Elysium,
No, I'm
there's a
so
Matt Damon movie with
like,
very similar pitch.
so that's the whole scenario. And the person who's doing this, right, the police officer who's been
Yeah,
killing
that
these
time.
people, start having that mental breakdown. And like he's so it's about that. It's just a 16 minutes. And like, and one of that was about and one of that story was it's about a hairdresser or a vacuum cleaner, है ना, gone rogue. So he started killing the master.
Transformers.
So no, he started killing that the lady, right, she was doing. And you know how she save herself from them? He started is she starts throwing clothes at him. So his primary job is to fold the clothes and place them. So he stop the hunt and start folding the clothes. He fold them, and then he moves back to killing. And so the ideas are quite unique, right? And like and at the end some
So
are
I guess,
quite fucked up. So it's a really quite of a fresh retake on a short films. And so I think you guys should watch it. That's what my take is. That's what I finished it today only.
so
Hmm.
so while we're talking about all this show, I know we are beyond time, like, but
No,
like when
we
we
are
talk
in.
about these shows, why we primary the primary reason we watch these shows is to side our mind from the usual things going in life, have some entertainment now.
Hmm.
And so what do you guys think, like, should a person follow regime, as in, okay, this is the show which everyone's watching, take the peer pressure and be on the same level with them, or a person could be random? What do you think is the best approach for a person to be, like, watch these shows or something? I personally think that I don't take references from anyone. I listen to everyone, whatever a person says, but I always follow my own path. Like,
Yeah.
what show I want to watch, I watch it. I don't care if it's rating R, even if it's fucked up. So that's the reason I've not even watched the series like was that one, Money Heist and all.
Yeah, I also haven't
So,
watched it.
but so that's the basic idea. I just want to get from you guys. Like, what do you guys think that person should follow, like based
So
on series or whatever the what makes him feel good?
currently, like there are currently two types of people, right? So one that they go with the hype,
Mm,
and the one those
mm,
who create it, right? I think, you know. So
yeah,
people who go with the hype, I think, so they will watch any genre or any type of show until and unless it's popular, right?
just because it's
Yeah. So like
yeah,
I will give you one example, right? So my friend started recommending me Family Man, right? So they said it's a really great show, it's a really fun show, and I totally believe them. I watched around 3 to 4 episodes, but I will be really honest, I couldn't grasp myself to watch the other episodes, so I left it in the mid, right? So
And
yeah,
Indian web series, the problem in Indian web series is that they are all following a similar formula now. They, they not to sound very extremist, but they have a few things. They will criticize politics, they will criticize religion, they will criticize the system, and then they will abuse a lot. And obviously
abuse
there
a
will be
lot.
cheap.
That's the thing.
Yeah, then there will be
They
cheap
every
sex. Just these five things,
yeah.
and that is the all the Indian web series are in that. Everything is doing. I don't even think that we should talk about Indian web series because they don't even deserve to be talked about right now.
I
They
think
all followed. They all looked at Sacred Games and looked at it what Sacred Game good did good and just inherited everything from that on.
True,
That's all.
exactly. Even Sacred Games was not able to live up to the
live
hype
up to
of
his
the
hype
first season.
in season 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
Yeah.
stupid. I don't think we should talk about it. So yeah, coming back to your question, and yeah, I think it's individual
Mm,
choice to be honest.
hmm,
yeah.
If you want, see, it's good to take recommendations. It's good to
it's
analyze
always
what you
good,
want to
yeah.
see. It's good to see, talk to people, and you will get to know about different shows. Love, Death and Robots का trailer देखा मैंने season 2 का, and I just thought, yeah, it's very loud. I don't think I'll watch it.
कौन सा?
But now जब विजय ने Love, Death and Robots का, but जब अभी विजय ने बताया that it's very thought provoking, it's like Black Mirror, it's standalone episodes. I did not know any of these things. So I think
Mm,
I might start watching that show. So I think it's good to take recommendations, but at the end you have to make the choice
because
because the time is yours.
like people watch or depict whether they need to watch a show is through trailers, right? But I think trailers can be misleading.
mm.
That's what I think,
Yeah, they are very misleading.
right? Trailer can
Very
be
Trailers can be
misleading.
misleading.
So
Yeah.
it's very
Like
important to talk to people who have already watched the show.
that's what the
And
community is
mm,
for.
that's where we come in. And that's where we come in.
Like I don't think so, yeah, I think I don't think so, like yeah.
superhero landing.
So within in terms of if you talk about whether or not a person should take a recommendation or not, so I have seen people eh, the most major type of recommendation or the people ask are, I like this show, what can I watch which is similar to this show, right? So
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
that's the main problem.
so
True.
these are the so as a person who has watched or an example, I'm taking if a person who has watched a huge number of shows can recommend you a show which is quite similar, or the key points, or the theme settings, or the feel of the show is quite similar to what is.
Mm,
Because so if example I will take, say if you loved Boys, है ना, the Boys on
We
Amazon
love
Prime,
mm,
Invincible.
you will love Invincible, right? Because they works on the same the phenomena of the
rip off.
no, not rip off that
No,
superhero shit,
not at all.
the superhero thing, but
Like the superheroes are overrated kind of thing, no?
Not really.
Sorry.
Invincible is not about that.
no, yeah,
See,
it's
what Vijay Bhaiya means by this is
Okay.
that they are very different from what we generally see.
mm,
Okay.
That's what. And I
The
think what is,
fixation we have about superheroes,
yeah,
they try to show them in a different light. Okay,
I
got
think
it.
what the
from
youth
a
of the generation
different
need right
POV.
now. Yeah, I think what the youth of the generation, the younger people who watch TV shows and movies in this country, in this subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, need the most right now is to subscribe to CocoNerds, so
Hmm.
that they can get recommendations,
But
and then
I
they
think,
can
yeah,
learn more about shows. I
still,
think that is the suppressing problem that no one is addressing in this country. Okay, fine, we have a pandemic and we have extreme views and political ideological differences, but I think the most important thing right now is to subscribe to this channel and watch our videos so that you
like
can learn more about pop culture.
I have still seen, right, you know, the Instagram channels, or these movieaholics, posting about great South Indian movies, great Tamil or Malayalam movies, right, or great indie cinemas movies, right, and like
Hmm.
deep down, I still, because I don't watch such type of movies, right, I don't, right, even though, to
Hmm.
I may try to blend in with them and try to you know make my brain to let's watch these movies and see if you like them, or not, but we don't, right, or I
Hmm.
don't personally, right, because that's not what my choice of movies are, right. I'm not doing it, I'm not watching something just because it's a two factors, right. Yeah, it's a, and you need to watch it if it's a great form of art, right, to appreciate it. But second is,
Hmm.
there must be an interest in it also, right. You must be interested in such type of movies, right.
Yeah.
So if I'm not interested in regional movies, so even though they are a great form of art, or right, they will be I can hardly watch one or two exceptional movies. Other than that, I won't be able to watch
Hmm.
the no rest of the things or rest of the series. That's what my point is. So my interest, i have I have developed an interest, right. So, yes, I can develop another
Yeah.
one by watching it repeatedly. A person can argue that, right? But that's not the point here. Currently, my interest is the movies related to pop culture, superheroes, ठीक है, supernatural shit,
Huh.
or
Offbeat.
and
Yeah, I think I would make a recommendation here for two of you.
so
Please go and watch Community.
yeah,
Community is a show.
community, yeah, yeah, I
I
know,
told you about Community.
yeah,
No? It's a very cool show. It's a very light show directed by Tarun. Hear this out. Executive producers
Russo
Russo
brothers.
brothers.
Hmm. It's a great,
Okay.
So I think
it's a
you
That's
will
going
love
in watch
it.
list.
Yeah. So just watch the
So
first three
as
seasons.
like.
Don't. There's no need to watch fourth, fifth, and sixth because they are very downhill. At my personal experience, you might love them because the cast had started leaving by then. So first three seasons are
Hmm.
exceptional. So fucking funny. 24, 25 episodes each, 20, 25 minutes.
Like,
Exceptional.
because like I was quite confused in the beginning, because I was like, why are these old people going to schools now? So that was my
And it's a
first
college, community college, I would.
community
Yeah, that's a community college.
like,
So very good.
so after school hours, the
Night school type of
yeah,
thing.
at night school time, people of any age, or right, can come and take
Tarun Bhaiya,
part in
it's like
these.
executive MBA, but executive MBA is done by people who are doing their jobs. Community college is done by people who have failed once
Yeah.
in their lives and now they want to restart their lives. So all the people in the show
Restart.
have
Okay.
failed in their lives and their careers, and now they're restarting by going to community college. Simple.
So that's what, yeah. So
It's very cool show.
Yeah.
So
I
many pop culture references, so many jokes, so many skits. Love it.
yeah, that's a really good recommendation.
so
Thank you.
So
as Vijay, you were saying like
that's what great about
people
it.
do tell you.
Yeah. So that's what my point is, right? Like I have generated interest, and even though I recommend you or someone else recommends me a movie, at the end of the day, it's
Hmm.
on me. It's on my preferences on, and if it matches my genre, or the genre I love, then I will definitely give it a watch. If it doesn't, then even though how good it may be, or how great it may be, I may not watch it, because there's an abundance of cinema. There's an abundance of movies.
Yeah.
You can't,
Yeah.
no way, shape, or form.
With
You can
the
watch all, right? So that's what my thing point is.
with the introduction of OTT platform, there's a huge, there's humongous options that we have. Even I'm watching a show which is originally on Hulu. Hulu is not even available in India,
Yeah.
but it's a Hulu original series. I'm watching it anyhow. It's a good show. But the
Which
point is
one?
like it's called Casual. So it's about three people whose relationships gets failed in the beginning of the seasons,
Man.
and then they continue with the different approach. So what I'm trying to also point out, like as Vijay you mentioned, like people recommend you regional movies, which could be, I'm surely be good. But somehow, while watching these shows, by picking these shows, we also get limited by the cultural influence. Like there are shows like Modern Family and The Middle, which are too American for us. We can't get into those. We can't develop ourselves into those understandings as well. So I guess that's
No, Modern
also
Family
where
is
the
nice though. I've
choice.
seen the show. It's very nice.
The
Modern
show.
Family is very
It's a nice
heartwarming.
show.
It's
That's what I'm
nice.
saying. Modern Family is actually a nice show, but not every person maybe, especially
Yeah.
in this in our country, would find it okay to watch it
Yeah.
because they don't even get half of the things just because of the cultural references.
Yeah, I
It's a
think we
very
have
cultural
seen
show.
so much content till now that we get those references, and that's how we are able to enjoy them.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, also about
Lastly, there's
content
also one more
that,
show.
yeah, go ahead.
Just lastly, I want to say there's also one show. It's called The Middle.
Yeah, it's
It used to be on
fantastic.
ABC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You have
I've
seen
seen
it, The
it.
Middle?
yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
the
it.
best thing about, the good thing about that show is when I started rewatching it, I found it that one of its writer and producer is the Indian, Vijay Patel. Okay, that's his name. Vijay is quite famous name nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I find that show very, because some of the reference. So it's about a small family, which is middle family, very middle class family, and one of some of the references in those shows are, I can really relate to them, even though they are in the American context, but I still can relate to them because it's been written by an Indian person, so they throw in some of the references which might happen here. So that's again, a person would only like the middle if he understands American culture, if he can connect to it, adapt, understand their thinking ways. So there are a lot of things that you can make a person choose what kind of
Like
shows they want to
Yeah.
see.
the
The
show.
last thing that I want to say, building upon Vijay Bhaiya's point about the abundance of content, is that because we have seen so much shows, so many shows, and we have seen so much of content, movies or TV shows or whatever, and it's because of that we have developed this interest in
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah,
I have been watching TV shows, American TV shows, I think for the last 15, 16 years now, and I don't remember a time when I was not watching them. So back when we
true.
used to watch in
Same.
Hindi, if you remember. Back when we
Yeah,
started
it used to
watching,
be on Cartoon
started
Network.
yeah, we started watching that in Hindi. That was in 2002 or 3 only. But proper, मतलब
Yeah,
लैपटॉप के अंदर देखना या टीवी पे देखना. I've been doing that for 15 years and now, and I cannot find any fun in Indian content anymore because there's a very big
yeah,
disparity now. And talking about indigenous cinema and the art cinema, which way I would disagree with that a little because if you expose yourself to indigenous cinema or the art cinema, then you will start definitely liking
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Then you at least start appreciating it because it's very beautiful. And talking about art cinema, I don't think if you have seen the show, it's called OK Computer. It's on Hotstar.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
I've
might
seen the
have
trailer.
I
I've seen
saw
the
the
trailer
I
a lot.
saw the first episode.
the kind of jokes, the philosophical jokes, and the dark comedy, and about the Indian political scenario. It's so good, it's so appropriate that you will love that show. So please go ahead, Vijay भैया आगे के 5-6 एपिसोड जितने हैं, I think 8 एपिसोड in total. तो बच्चे के साथ भी देखो and Tarun भैया, please start watching that show. It's a very good show. Okay, computer, fantastic.
Have you guys watched Remy on? Mostly we're gonna talk about Loki.
But
Yeah.
but just for the sake of ending it on a very definite note, just last thing, if you can put in very limited words, like what kind of shows you like in a very limited work. If I have to say for myself, I like, apart from the Marvels and all the superhero shit, the only shows I like to watch is the TV, American TV
Yeah.
shows. I am not very much into OTT platforms right now, but American TV
So
shows are the ones
so
I like watching more.
the shows that I mostly like to watch are anime and animated shows. are my first preference always. I don't know why, but like because the actions and the emotions are always, on a very great level, and
No.
I really like them. So that's what my choice is always. As
I think my choice
Last Himanshu.
has become very diverse over the last few years. I have started watching so many different shows
yeah,
from
like
different countries, and I just started watching anime. I watched my first anime on recommendation of Vijay Bhaiya and so many other people. I just watched it, no, and I liked it. It's very good. I understand why the hype is there for anime people. It's very nice, and yeah, mostly American shows because they are the most popular ones. I've seen a few British shows. British
Yeah.
humor is a little darker than all other kinds of humor, American, Indian, or
yeah,
Korean humor. And then comes, see, the thing about American TV
you
shows
know,
right now is that
you
they
know,
themselves are very all encompassing these days because America is a land where
Ah,
people from all around the world are coming and see. As he talked about Rami, There's a show called Fresh Off the Boat where
mhm,
there's a Korean family, and then there's Indian shows there. There's a show called Never Ever
yeah,
Ever Abhi
hmm.
Rashtriya
yeah,
Riya
I
Hai.
was gonna talk about
That
that.
shows Indian dikha raha hai. So American TV shows have become so broad, and because of so many different people living there,
Hmm.
they have become all inclusive themselves only. So I don't think we will even want to go outside American content, and we don't even need to right now because I don't get anime. I
Yeah.
don't like it. I've seen it. I know. I understand why people like it. I don't like it. Animated TV shows are different. Anime is different.
If you
Japanese
go
anime, I don't get.
like there are two or three subtle things that even I myself have been, now I have been used to it, but like there's two three things that you say it and
Very
you
irritating.
just laugh out on it. And because if you make someone else see it, like she will see what this, it's childish, like some of the things that they do are childish, right? But there are shows
Yeah,
that
but
are very
Hmm.
serious and serious.
no hate towards anime lovers. I get what you love about those shows, but it's
Yeah.
not just
if
not my
if
type. So I think I watch all kinds of content.
so
Even I have seen some anime, so it's just ठीक है अच्छा है तो देख लेंगे यार टाइम
exactly,
है तो
exactly.
अच्छा
You
है
like
तो
to
देख
keep
लेंगे.
your options open. You like to keep
Yeah,
your
I mean
options open for everything.
Always.
it's good to
Good.
get
That's
diverse
good.
because when you get diverse, you learn most about different kind of stuff. I think most of the knowledge that we have acquired about gold has been because of the movies and TV shows that we have seen.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's important to
Exactly.
learn and it's important to see a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So on that note,
For some reason, this is the favorite podcast we had today. This is one of the favorite podcasts we shooted, in my opinion.
I
Yeah.
think we will end it, and we will be coming back with I
Yeah,
think some really great topics because and some really great podcasts in the future. So please subscribe to us
always.
and follow us on Spotify and download our podcast, and please support us and share us with our friends. If you don't watch such movie shows, please recommend it to your friends who does. So thank you, bye, and good night.